Okay guys, Sean Weeb here again. We are now in a 2010 Volkswagen TDI comfortline DSG automatic. I just wanted you guys to sort of feel this transmission as well. Now, the DSG is a really great transmission. It definitely has a leg up over a lot of other automatics. Technically, if you were to break the transmission down, it's actually a manual transmission. It's a twin clutch system. When you actually come to a complete stop, you can feel the vehicle slipping the clutch for you. So it doesn't have that sort of slushy feel that you usually get from an automatic transmission. It actually is rated at slightly better fuel economy than a manual, just because the computer can control it. So it's just got slightly better fuel economy there. I mean, really, you're probably not going to notice. It's 60 compared to 61 miles per gallon. Oh, traffic's a little tight here, The transmission is capable of shifting in 3/100ths of a second, so it's one of the fastest shifting transmissions in the world. But that's not really, in my opinion, what makes it special. What makes it special is that it gives you a more direct steering feel than what you'll see in a conventional automatic. It also gives a lot of people that traditionally would never have looked at automatics a vehicle that they could drive and still find rewarding. I mean, automatic transmissions, they're not as interesting as manuals, but let's be honest, I mean, I've got a DSG in my GTI. I live downtown. I get stuck in traffic every day. I don't want to shift gears. I'm at a point in my life where it's not necessary. I agree that shifting gears is a lot more fun, and I mean, I'd love to kind of throw my vehicle through some turns and be in the power band and all that great stuff, but I live in Edmonton, and half the year we're winter, so traffic isn't moving, and the other half of the year we're construction, and traffic isn't moving either. So sitting at a light, stopped, having to slip my clutch every 10 feet just isn't really appealing to me. So that's why I went with the DSG. It gives me sort of the best of both worlds. I have the automatic, and then I can shift it into manual mode. And unlike some other competitors' vehicles, where it's got the manual mode, but it's still a very slushy feel. It's sort of disconnected and all that. I mean, the DSG here in the manual mode is fantastic. I mean, shifts in 3/100ths of a second. It's quick, it's fun, it's direct. Something that nobody else really is offering, other than Audi, which of course, not to say that it's the same as a Volkswagen, but of course they're owned by the same company. A lot of the technologies are shared between the two companies. Wouldn't make sense for both of them to develop technologies on their own. Now the Jetta comfortline, what makes it really nice is not everybody wants leather, and you can actually get it fairly loaded without leather. You've got the media center, which is going to come as standard. So within that, you're going to have an auxiliary in. You're not on the comfortline. You're not going to have the iPod integration or the steering wheel mounted controls. For some people, that's important. If they want all the gadgets and technical things. For a lot of people, it's not important. They're happy just having a slightly more upgraded Jetta that has some nice features that you'll get with the media center without necessarily going overboard and bringing the price way up. I mean, a fully loaded Jetta is going to be just more than $33,000 once you include freight and PDI. Where a comfortline, I mean, you're sitting comfortably in the high 20s to low 30s, depending on the options that you choose. The Jetta handles. It's got fantastic handling. You've got a 4-link rear end. And I mean, it's something that the vehicle receives praise for all the time. It's just how it feels when you drive it. It's got a very, very nice steering feel. Of course, it's not a race car. I mean, a Porsche definitely handles better, but this is not a Porsche. This is a vehicle that you could drive to work every day. Lots of room in the back for your kids or your friends. And it's got a huge trunk. At the car show, actually, we managed to put 4 people in the trunk of the Jetta. It was quite funny, actually. But like I said, an absolutely massive trunk. Another nice thing is that all your safety features are going to come standard. So you've got the front airbags, which I mean everybody has these days, but you've got 3 side curtain airbags, and you also have airbags, side impact airbags that are going to come out of the sides of the seats. They are optional on the rear seats. In case you have small children that are still in child seats, usually you recommend against getting those airbags just because it can potentially move the child seat. There's a bunch of articles that have been written up on it. So just one of those things. On the Highline, they do come standard. Once again, we're dealing with Edmonton traffic again. One of my favorite things I think about the Jetta TDI 2 is it's I say this about a lot of Volkswagens, and I honestly, sincerely believe it. It's a nice place to be. When you sit here, all the materials that are used on the interior are first rate. Everything looks nice, everything feels nice, it's well thought out, and it's not gaudy. I mean, you look at a lot of other vehicles, and it's just too over the top. I guess if you're really young and into all that stuff, then great, but the Jetta is just a little bit more of a more grown-up vehicle. In 2010, Volkswagen did do some minor changes. So you've got, of course, the media center. They also changed the gauge layout. So instead of being backlit blue, it's white now, a little bit more mature. You'll see some just changes on the dash here. The way the heated seats and the dials and everything on here are revised. I really like these. It only has 3 settings now as opposed to 5, so it's high, medium, and low, as opposed to the old dial with 5 on there. One of our biggest issues with the Jetta actually is that it's so hard to get people to trade their Jettas in. Volkswagen doesn't have the typical ownership cycle of 3 to 4 years like we see in a lot of other vehicles, especially in the diesel. People just want to hold on to them. They're great vehicles. I mean, diesel engines last significantly longer than gasoline motors. They hold their value better, and you just can't argue with the mileage. I mean, you're spending half as much money on fuel per year as you would with most other cars. Plus, you don't have with a hybrid, eventually you're going to have to replace the batteries, and depending on who you talk to, they say between this and that and whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's eventually the batteries need to be replaced, and that comes at a significant cost. I mean, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars. With the great thing with a diesel is that you just never have to worry about that. The DSG transmission is fantastic. The manual is great too. The diesel is, of course, what we're really known for here in North America. It's just an all-around good car to own. Most of our sales these days, I mean, you look, the Jetta diesel. People are either looking at the Golf or the Jetta diesel. And then you get the SUV owners as well. I mean, you get people that are just looking for an SUV. And I mean, the Tiguan is fantastic. I love the Touareg, but it's just a rare vehicle. Got some bumpy back roads here. People that own the old 1.9 that upgrade to the 2.0 clean diesels, the big thing that they notice is just really how much quieter it is. It also will never ever have black smoke or anything like that coming out the back because it uses a particulate filter. And the new common rail diesel, of course, makes 50% more power. So who doesn't want more power, better fuel economy, and less emissions? It won Green Car of the Year, 2009 and 2010. So 2 years running. Go Volkswagen. But it's just a great vehicle to own. The diesels are also always at the top of resale value. Like they just hold their value. The residual values are just much stronger than what you see on a lot of gasoline vehicles. Anyways, guys, want Once again, my name is Sean Weep, Norden Volkswagen here in Edmonton, Alberta. If you have any questions, just swing down, come see me, or shoot me a message, leave a comment.